Is Daniel Bryan leaving Smackdown? Hello, everybody. It's John from WrestleScope. It is day number 23 of the 30 days of WrestleScope. And, well, you've got to wonder, after tonight's show, is Daniel Bryan leaving SmackDown? So the narrative all evening was Daniel Bryan working to get Cesaro a Universal title match against Roman Reigns. And at the end of the show, we saw Cesaro and Daniel Bryan come out to the ring. They were waiting for an answer from Roman Reigns. Reigns comes out and basically blows off Cesaro again and tells him, he's not worth it. He's, doesn't deserve a shot, yada, yada, yada. But after everything Daniel Bryan said this evening in the opening promo, after the tag team title match, tag team match against Seth Rollins and Jey Uso, and again, Daniel Bryan just running down Roman Reigns, Roman got PO'd. He got ticked off, and he wants to take out Daniel Bryan once and for all. And the challenge was made. He challenged Daniel Bryan to a match for the Universal title next Friday on SmackDown. And if, or as Roman said, when Daniel Bryan loses, he doesn't want to see him on the blue brand anymore. So is Daniel Bryan going away? It's a possibility because Daniel Bryan, and I don't have the exact comments he made, but he made some comments that within the last few days that he wasn't really sure how he was feeling about wrestling anymore. That he had an odd feeling going into WrestleMania, and he doesn't know really if he wants to continue on. And there have been rumors floating around about when his contract is up with WWE. His current contract could potentially be up sometime in the next few months here. And maybe he wants to take some time off to spend time with his wife and with his two little children at home. So is this a good way of Daniel Bryan getting written off of TV? And if that's the case, would we see him come back to SmackDown again? Would he be a competitor again? Because going into WrestleMania, we heard him say numerous times, this may be my last WrestleMania. This may be my last chance. Is Daniel Bryan preparing to step away from the WWE? I'm a little surprised this is happening on SmackDown. I would have thought this would have been something a little bit bigger and let it be a pay-per-view match. Unless Fox is trying to pull in big numbers for whatever reason next week, Friday, to pull in big numbers for what potentially could be Daniel Bryan's final match. Now, they're not calling it a leave WWE match or a career-threatening match or a retirement match. It's just Daniel Bryan would have to leave SmackDown. So that does leave some options. Daniel Bryan could go to NXT, which would be very interesting because there's a lot of great talent in NXT that I would love to see Daniel Bryan wrestle. He could potentially also head over to Raw, which could be interesting as well. It could be fun. Yeah, Brian, hate to see him go. Not sounding good. I agree with you on that. It's not sounding good. And in some way, shape, or form, this has got to lead to Cesaro getting that title shot at WrestleMania Backlash, which again is the worst, absolute worst name for a pay-per-view since Great Balls of Fire. Okay, it really is. I don't know. I didn't see it coming. I definitely did not see this coming tonight. I don't think anybody did. It's funny. This was actually not what I was going to talk about this evening. I was actually planning on talking about Impact Wrestling Rebellion tonight, but it's hard not to talk about this. And it actually feels good to be talking about wrestling and not controversy and firings and backstage things. But Yeah, this one, overall SmackDown, this was kind of a weird show tonight. I mean, the first 40 minutes or so was taken up by Daniel Bryan, Cesaro, Jey Uso, Seth Rollins, Roman Reigns. And all of that was really good. All of it was really good. And then it just kind of, I don't know, it kind of went all over the place. It really did. We had a lot of backstage segments with Kayla Braxton, who it's really disappointing that, and I shouldn't be surprised by Twitter, but then again, maybe I should be, that she had to go to Twitter to explain why she looked a little bit darker tonight. How Kayla, it was very apparent. You know, she is a slightly darker skin tone. She had to go onto Twitter to explain, well, she's half black and she was in Hawaii for a few days. So obviously she got a little bit darker and it's not makeup. But people were questioning it. Why? Okay, yeah, the question popped in my head the first time I saw her, like, oh, she does seem a little bit darker tonight. Maybe it's just the lighting. Maybe it's what she's wearing. Who cares? But people are actually questioning Kayla on Twitter about this. And she's got to come out and talk about it. Why? Why? I just don't get it. Overall, I'm not going to do a full review of this show. Overall, I thought it was okay in comparison to Raw, which has been absolutely awful. I'm wondering if, again, and maybe we'll hear the stories tomorrow, was SmackDown shorthanded because they spent a lot of time with Daniel Bryan, Cesaro, Roman Reigns, and Jey Uso. All those backstage segments, they sure didn't use a whole heck of a lot of talent tonight. Is there something else going on? You know, there have been rumors floating around about another COVID outbreak. I don't know. Yes, a person is smart, people are dumb. Yes. Very true, Brian. Very true. All right, that's going to be it. I had posted on Twitter earlier. It's been a long week. It really has been a long week. This is my 23rd straight day of being on here. Now, granted, some of these have only been a few minutes long. Others have been longer. Just personally, it's been a long month so far, and I'm going to continue doing this. I made a promise to myself I was going to do 30 days, and I'm going to do it. Just struggling a little bit today, but we'll get through it. Planning on doing WrestleScope Weekly tomorrow, the full show, which is going to be an interesting one. A lot of things to talk about this week. Lots and lots of things to talk about this week. I wish some was better than others. I'm going to try doing as much good news as I possibly can this week, but it's kind of tough because the way the world of wrestling has been lately, it's going to be a little bit difficult. Okay. The tentative plan right now is 4 p.m. Central Time, 5 p.m. Eastern Time for WrestleScope Weekly this week. As soon as I can lock down a time, I will actually schedule this through StreamYards, and you'll be able to find it on YouTube. So you'll get the notification. So make sure you like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. You will be notified when WrestleScope Weekly will be live tomorrow. Hopefully we'll be able to get a bunch of people in here for comments to talk about the world of wrestling from the last week. Obviously, the garbage bag gate, which a lot of people are talking about, the firings that just happened in WWE, and I'm not talking about the talent releases. Obviously, the huge match on Sunday night between Kenny Omega and Rich Swann at Impact Rebellion, and so many other things. But that'll be coming up tomorrow on WrestleScope Weekly. I am John from WrestleScope. Thank you very much for tuning in. That is all for tonight. Have a great night, everybody, and we will talk to you on Saturday.